The Ohio governor is now sending troops and money over to Springfield, Ohio, because of the surge of migrants that are going into that city. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock out.
All right, breaking now at 3, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announcing state support for the city of Springfield, where a recent influx of Haitian migrants in Clark County creating healthcare and public safety strains. It's actually making national headlines. The governor breaking down the new support right now. Let's listen in.
Dramatic increase in the migrant children in Springfield schools, resulting in an increased need for more English as a second language services in these schools. Let me talk about the safety on the roads. Again, there aren't that many cars in Haiti. Most people don't drive. So a good number of the individuals who come to the United States have not driven before. And they certainly do not have an Ohio license. But they have not driven, many of them. And those who have driven have not gone through really any formal courses. This has created a great deal of concern among people who are on the road in Springfield and in Clark County. There's really not a familiarity also with the laws of the United States. This, again, creates a very significant problem for the Springfield community. Next is the housing problem. We're seeing people who are bunched together in homes. One of the other results that we have seen is that the cost of rent is up. Supply and demand, it means it's up for everyone. So you can have someone who has been renting in Springfield for many years and who has to deal with that high rent. Let me talk for a moment about what we are doing and have been doing. In addressing these considerable challenges, we've been consulting really for a number of months, many months, with Mayor Rue, with the county commissioners, with the health director, school officials, superintendent, other individuals. We've had meetings at the governor's residence where we pulled people together from Clark County to discuss the problems.
All right, you're listening to Governor Mike DeWine addressing an influx of Haitian migrants in Springfield. That's south of us between Columbus and Dayton. He's talking about issues happening on the roads, rent, schools. If you'd like to continue listening to the
I think I might head to Springfield this weekend and see what's really happening on the ground. I don't think I got nothing going on this weekend that I have to be really here in Detroit for. I'm not even sure if it's any events in Detroit that's happening outside of maybe some baseball games. I might head to Springfield. We might head to Springfield this weekend just to see what's happening on the ground and find out for ourselves. I want to know and I want to see for myself if the majority of the people over there are migrants, if 1/3 of them are migrants, and I want to see what's really happening and how it's affecting this small town. Let me see how far it is. I might even be, I know I can't catch a flight. Let me go and look at this real quick. Before we go over to the next thing, I just want to see for myself. I got to see. I got to know. I got to know what's happening on the ground. I might just go ahead and hit it. I think my daughter's going out of town anyway, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to see for myself. I got to do a whole stop. Don't got no direct flights to Springfield? Nah, we ain't doing that. It's a 3-hour drive. Where's Springfield? Past Cleveland. Past Toledo. Near Columbus before you get to Cincinnati. So it's in between Columbus and Cincinnati, or Columbus and Dayton. And then Cincinnati is a little bit further down. All right, we'll see. I'll let y'all know. I will let y'all know. But let me pivot over and see what the residents are saying.
You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that Xi and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast.
All right, so you see at this week's debate, former President Donald Trump sounding the alarm on American citizens struggling under the weight of people flowing into our nation from other countries. One city in particular, Springfield, Ohio, is in the national spotlight right now over the massive spike of Haitian migrants, some 15,000 who have arrived under the Biden-Harris Temporary Protected Status Program, or TPS. That makes them, through the program, legally here. And again, I want to mention the number, small town, 15,000 have come into the city of just 60,000 in the past few years. Ohio Governor DeWine actually has announced in the last 24 hours that he is going to send $2.5 million along with a boost in law enforcement on the ground to help that community manage an untenable situation right now. He also explained how the migrant influx is hurting Springfield.
These dramatic surges impact every citizen in the community, every citizen. The moms who have to wait hours in a waiting room with a sick child, everyone who drives on the streets, and it affects children who go to school in more crowded classrooms. This is, a very unprecedented situation in Springfield. We wish we had some help from the federal government.
Republican
So all of these people are asking for help from the very people that's in the administration right now that's also running for another term in Kamala Harris. So they're asking for help. Biden is running around with Trump hats on. Kamala Harris is on her tour in order to try to convince women to vote based off of their emotions. And Springfield, Ohio is one of the many towns that need help. The federal government has no help whatsoever. They have to send state funds down there along with troops to police them. And now it's having a residual effect on every single thing that you're touching. From jobs, to roads, to safety, to policing, to homelessness, to spikes in rent. And so the entire community is being 100% compromised, and nobody got no answers for it. But they just skip right over that question over in the debate when Trump brought it up.
Governor DeWine there explaining why they need federal.
Oh, wait a minute. Is the likes anemic? Our streets, is the likes anemic? Come on, man. With the type of show that we got over 4,200 people in here on YouTube by itself, and the likes is that low. Come on. What we doing, y'all? Let's get it together.
Government help. It's a federal program that put them in this position. Now, the people who live there were at a city commission meeting this week, including one woman who lost her mother-in-law because of the situation. Let's watch this together.
On December 1st, I received a phone call that changed my life forever. She was collecting her trash can from her driveway when a car struck and killed her instantly. A Haitian immigrant was allegedly driving recklessly when he struck and killed her. I am paralyzed with anxiety when I'm getting my children out of the car in any parking lot, walking on any sidewalk, and driving on any road in this town.
This issue is not a Republican or Democratic issue. This is an American issue. This is an Ohio issue, and this is a Springfield issue. We, the people, have the ability to ensure our streets are safe.
Schools are overcrowded.
Our education system has went in the trash. Housing is another issue. The overcrowding in housing. My son had to give me his house and move to another house because I can't find housing.
Is there a cutoff point that, I mean, for the population here? Or, I mean, I feel like there should be a no vacancy sign right now, and people are still coming in.
This is crazy. This is insane of what is happening in our federal government and what's happening on the ground level. And nobody is going to care until it starts to affect their own town. And let's best believe it is going to spread across the entire United States of America. Why is nobody concerned about what is happening on the ground? But we still talking about vibes and energies.
I want to make a point really clear here. This isn't exactly the same thing that other cities far from the border are seeing, where, you know, Democrats have accused Republicans for busing people in. This is through a Biden-Harris administration. Remember, he put her in charge of the border. A Biden-Harris administration special program for Haitians at this time. So they are looked upon now as being legally in our communities.
Okay, can somebody explain something to me, because I'm a little slow. Again, my transcripts say that I am a lifetime C student. And I am looking to go back to school this winter. So that should be interesting, because I need some more things to challenge me, and I want to add some more things to my resume, my personal resume of accomplishments that I've done in this lifetime. And I do plan on paying out of pocket, because I don't need no student loans. But somebody explain this to this C student for me real quick, all right? So Springfield, Ohio is all the way up at the top of the map, towards the top of the map right before you get to Michigan, all right? So how are they getting to Ohio? Forget Springfield. How are they getting to Ohio? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me how they got all the way from Haiti, skipped over Florida, skipped over Georgia, skipped over Nashville, Kentucky, didn't go to Chicago this time, and then they landed in Springfield, Ohio, in a small town. They didn't go to Cleveland. They didn't go to Cincinnati. They didn't go to Columbus. They didn't even want to see where LeBron James used to live in Akron. How did they end up in Ohio is what I'm asking. Who paid for this? Who paid for this? I said the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad got them in. Can anybody? I know I'm at. Look, you know what my job is here. You know why this show is so popular? I'm gonna tell you why it's so popular. It's because we ask the questions that us regular folk, because I grew up in Detroit, I ain't bougie and all of that. We ask the questions that regular folk be afraid to ask. You know how when you're in a classroom, or let's just say when you go to college or something and you don't want to sound stupid, so you don't really want to raise your hand and interrupt the class because you know that your question is going to be a little bit under what they think the standard of the question is. But really, all of the students that's in the class is thinking the same thing, just don't nobody want to sound stupid. So 95% of the classroom is all confused, but don't nobody want to raise their hand because everybody is presenting themselves as though they know what the teacher is talking about, right? And then it take that one student that be like, sorry, can you hold on? Because I don't get it. I wasn't taught this in my high school. And then everybody be like, yeah. We was thinking the same thing. This is why the show is so popular, okay? The show is popular because we ask the basic questions from what regular everyday folk want to know, all right? Geography wasn't really my thing. But since I started flying all over the country and the state, it's a thing now for me. So what I'm asking is this. How did they get from Haiti and skipped over every other state and ended up in little old Springfield that only had 40,000 people there? Who gave the memo? Who said, hey, man, Springfield is a spot, bro? Springfield is a spot. That's all I want to know. Can somebody answer that basic question for me? Why Springfield And why did they just take over Springfield? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody can answer that question? Somebody call the federal government and ask that question for me. I'm just curious. That's why that's why they rock with me, because I just ask, I say the quiet part out loud. Hey, teach. Why Springfield? Why are we going to Springfield? Is it anything? Even as Americans, we had never even heard of Springfield. How did the Haitians find out about Springfield, but we didn't know about it? Y'all won't even visit them of these towns. Y'all don't be knowing nothing about these towns. Y'all never paid attention to geography. Y'all was over there trying to holler at the girl. Hey, baby, would you go with me? Yes or no? Oh, you going with Mike to the prom? And you was hating on Mike. Man, Mike don't even like you. He already talking to another girl anyway. Remember how you was hating on Mike? Because Mike, she said that she was waiting on Mike to ask her to the prom, and you was trying to, man, Mike don't even, whatever, man. That's why I don't even like these hoes, man. I'm so tired. Remember you was hating on Mike? And you should have been paying attention in geography class? Anton, what did I just say? We didn't even know nothing about Springfield. We don't be knowing nothing about none of these cities. You know what I'm saying? But somehow they found Springfield. They said, we taking over. It's crazy, bro.
Particularly Springfield, Ohio. Now, that's important to note, because if
y'all said they found it because of The Simpsons? Oh, don't tell me they went to Springfield because of The Simpsons.
Side starts pointing fingers at the other, Democrats to Republicans.
They was watching that cartoon and they said, hey, it look like Springfield is the place to go. Jesus Christ.
They have. Don't you dare let them get away with they were bused there, because they weren't. Many of them want to stay in that community. They have jobs. But the collision of population in Springfield and people who are not, in many cases, licensed to drive, and that was an issue in that woman's mother's case. Those are the things that are coming up, a lack of resources, that sort of thing. Republican Congresswoman Kat Cammack of Florida, member of the Energy and Agricultural Committees, is also on the select subcommittees on the committee on the weaponization of the federal government. Congresswoman Cammack, I want to first of all, because we've been talking about this issue of immigration for so long, set the table, if you will, for us of why this now is so important to so many Americans in different positions across the country.
Well, Harris, you've heard me say it so many times before. Every town and city, every state in the country is a border town because of the open border policies. But as you rightfully pointed out, this is a program that the Harris-Biden regime have stood up, implemented, and are now setting up across the country. And just to give you some perspective about why this is so critical, that we're pointing out that this is an authorized legal program under this administration, it's that they're not just putting them in schools and putting more pressure on all the healthcare systems and community services. There are cities, and this is so scary. They are not only giving them these services, they're now giving them jobs as law enforcement officers. That is why I had.
What? No way. I didn't just hear what I thought I heard. Hold on.
Them these services, they're now giving them jobs as law enforcement officers. That is why I had to drop a bill last week, the Citizen Only Policing Act, because they are now allowing people under these programs to serve as gun-carrying sworn officers of the law. Keep in mind, these people are in the country illegally, and that is what is so crazy to me.
No
and
way.
Another fine point to put on this that everyone should be upset about is that collectively, we spend $42 billion of taxpayer money every single year on people in this country who have been brought in through the Harris-Biden regime or have crossed the border illegally. As a comparison, homeless veterans only get $3 billion.
Wow. Yeah, they spending $42 billion and they letting them become police officers? And y'all voting for this administration? And they don't care because they know that y'all still gonna vote for them? Oh, no way. No way. Now I got to do some research. Y'all got me putting my journalism hat on. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I am blown away.